had to narrow it down to one word to describe Q1, I would use the word dynamic. There's a lot of changes in our industry. They're happening fast. I can talk about pricing, I can talk about regulations, I can talk about demand, I can talk about supply. There's just so many things going on, and they're going on very fast, that as a company we have to stay informed, we have to stay alert, we have to stay nimble, so we can make the right decisions, make them fast, but also make educated decisions where we're not taking shortcuts or we're not doing something that later we could potentially regret. And that can be, again, from pricing, that can be from a lot of different things. So dynamic, things are shifting very, very, very fast. Technology evolves. Also the erasure methods, the technology that you have to use to erase it, it also evolves, and you have to stay on top of that. So I would say if you're not using the right ITAD partner, your data could be at risk. Even if the ITAD company is trying to do everything right, but they just don't have the expertise, we feel the responsibility to know where this equipment is going to end up, and we want to feel comfortable where it's going. If you're using the wrong ITAD vendor, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. Something that we pride ourselves is by, we have a rule here. If we're not able to wipe it, and we're not able to certify that the data has been wiped, or if we're not able to restore something to factory defaults, we're not gonna sell it. It's gonna get physically destroyed, depending on what it is, potentially shredded, and then it's gonna go to one of our downstreams to get recycled. So that's a very, very big responsibility as an ITAD, being able to ensure that things are wiped, data is removed, things are restored to factory defaults before you put it in somebody else's hands so they can continue to use it. Our custom ERP system synchronizes or talks to every single erasure system that we use. That's very important because as the equipment gets added to our ERP system and we're doing the wiping or the data destruction or whatever we're doing on making sure that it gets reset to factory defaults, those third-party systems that a lot of the companies in our industries use, they communicate with our system, they send that information, so now our system knows that it was wiped, and we have all the details from the other system that's sent to us. The cool thing about that is that, let's say, I mean, we're humans, we can all make mistakes, but let's say somebody's trying to sell something within our company that has not been through the process, that has not been erased, that has not been restored to factory defaults. Our system will keep them on track. It will notify them, it will let them know that that unit cannot be sold because it has not been wiped, it has not been restored to factory defaults. So then that's an easy way for my team to know that, wait, let's pump the brakes, let's send it back, it needs to be processed, and then finally get the data removed. So that's a checks and balance that we have that I would say a lot of companies in our industry don't, because it's very easy for somebody to make a mistake through the process. Once as an ITAD company, you determine that something doesn't have a demand or value in the secondary market and you want to go the recycling avenue. A lot of the companies in the ITAD space, what they do is, I mean, they consolidate the scrap, or they consolidate all the material that's going to get recycled. They send it to their downstream. They usually, typically, if they're certified, they verify that their downstream is also certified, and that's pretty much where they stop. And they send the scrap, then eventually it needs to go where it needs to go, and that's it. Something that we do different as a company, because we want to make sure that we understand what's going on with the equipment that we're sending to our downstream, and we want to make sure that we're protecting our clients, and I want them to feel comfortable that if they're using our services, even if certain services are not being performed by us, like the actual recycling and smelting and things like that, they're being done accordingly, and we still have some sort of visibility and control. That goes back to the transparency and being able to answer pretty much any question that comes our way. So what we do different is that we vet our direct downstream. If we're using multiple, we're gonna vet every single one of them. From there, we're going to ask them for every single category. If we're talking about computers, I want to know what they're doing with computers. If they're sending it to somebody else and that somebody else is not the final destination, is not where it's going to get smelted, we want to know what they're doing with it. And then if they're sending it to somebody else that's not going to be a smelter, we're going to ask them the same question. We're going to trace this material all the way until it makes it to the final destination where it finally gets melted down and the precious metals are recovered so they can be reused and put back into the circular economy. But I think that's how we mitigate some of the exposure and some of the risks that our clients have, just by having checks and balances, by going the extra mile, and doing what a lot of other companies in our industries are not willing to do because it takes more work and it becomes a little bit more challenging. But us as a company, we feel that we're doing the right thing. We feel that that we're taking care of our clients and we're making sure that we're protecting them from a potential data or environmental liability.